Good evening, all of you, sir. Today, our topic is construction industry 3.5.1. The paper code is IS 103. Basic philosophy of peculiarities and parameters uh, governing the safety in construction, such as site planning and layout, safe access, good housekeeping, safety in the use of construction, machinery, signs and indication, license for safety with local authorities, structural soundness, accidents and hazards and their causes and effects. These are the some confusion words are there. That's why I separated into some breakup into some parts so that it will be covered not in a vague, it will be covered in a systematic process. That's why I will be somewhat what is called the confusion will be arised here. That's why I separated. The part one is construction industry, saying that basic philosophy, peculiarities and parameters governing the safety in construction. That's what up to this. Next, site planning and layout. The construction industry in site planning and the layout. What are the hazards? What are the possible hazards? What are the potential hazards? What are the safety measures can be taken care? And part three, what here is the safe access and goods housekeeping. That is covered into the part 3. And part 4, safety in the use of construction machinery and science. That is a part 4, in the use of construction machinery and science indication. Part 5, license for safety. This is for a license for safety with local authorities. And the accident and hazards will be, and their cause and effects, last part. That I divided into this whole topic will be divided into these parts so that it will be discussed in a detail, so that it will be helpful for the examination purpose as well as the knowing the what is called things to be much perfect for the having the idea of construction industries. We are only construction industries only, not for the real estate and all. Coming to the basic philosophies, coming to this basic philosophy peculiarities, parameters governing means covering the safety in construction. So what are the basic philosophy and peculiarities and parameters covering in the safety construction areas? Before going to detail, I will give the some focus on the construction safety also. This basic philosophy of the construction safety includes site planning, safe access, and using the right equipment. Other important factors include, apart from the site planning, safe access, and the right equipment, the other factors also there include training, emergency preparedness response procedures, maintaining safety equipment with a proper schedule. And this one shortcut method where the construction safety is there. Apart from this, what the site planning ensures that site layout is safe, provide safe access to the site, keep the site tidy, and set up barricades. Set up barricades and around unsafe areas. That is the advantage of site layout. What is an example of construction industry here is industrial construction includes offshore construction also there. Of course, we are not covering this presently, but there is a construction offshore also, mainly energy installations, oil and gas platforms, like for example ONGC and wind powers also. Mining, quarrying, refineries, breweries, distilleries, and other processing plants, power stations, steel mills, warehouses, and factories. These are the some examples of the industry well aware of everybody, but this is the time to reveal our learning what is called capabilities and knowing the things. Industrial construction also refers to the construction of a business that deals with the manufacture of goods like manufacturing plants, power plants, refineries, and solar and wind farms. Commercial construction refers to construction business and venture. Venture means real estate to gain the profit. So, what are the 7 types of construction areas? We will cover the residential, commercial, institutional, industrial. Only we are talking about the industrial only. Heavy civil, environmental, and agriculture construction projects. These are the some types of construction. We will discuss about the industrial construction only. Here the construction, what are the 8 stages of the construction areas? A foundation, substructures, superstructures, roofs, first and second fix, that means floors, surface finishes, actional works, and a number of technical articles that outline common issue faced with each stage, that means each foundation stage, substructure stage, superstructure stage, like this. Each stage suggested ways to overcome these issues. What are the issues are there? Some each stages we have to see that it should be overcome with a safe manner. This is the one of the basic philosophy. In continuation with the principles of the construction safety areas, personal protective equipment, fall protection of course fall arresters also, hazard communication, equipment safety, emergency preparedness, electrical safety, and housekeeping. These are the some principles means which we need to keep in mind always as a prime factors of the construction industries with respect to safety. Personal protective equipment, workers should wear appropriate gear like hard hats, safety glasses, gloves, and steel-toed rods, etc. Some other things also there. I have not mentioned here is required for construction. We need to wear. Fall protection system is also should be taken care of. Use guardrails, safety nets, and harness systems to prevent falls. The fall arresters also will be taken care of. The work at heights will be, if suppose after the floors are constructed sequentially. Hazard communication is also very important. There is a clear communicate hazards to keep everyone informed. We should not hide the things among the workforce, those who are participating in the construction place. We have to clearly communicate what is the drawbacks for which the incident occurs. We have to, along with that corrective actions, we have to clearly communicate the people who are working in the worksite construction. Otherwise, there may be the repetition of the same accident with the same nature or same cause also. That's why we are not supposed to hide anything before the or among the workforce who are involved in the construction. Hazard communication issue should be a perfect. And equipment safety also, very, very important, use and maintain equipment properly and prevent accident. Here the equipment means welding machines, tools and tackles, as well as the forklifts and the trucks, as well as the movement of the traveling what is called trucks, or the removal of the sand. Like this, various equipment for safety will be using in the work site. We have to see that every equipment within the safety measures we have to use and see that its function is very, very much safely and taking care of the maintenance also. That is called equipment safety. Not only equipment but also tools and tackles which we are using or the workforce are using for the purpose of welding, cutting or bending. Whatever may be the fabrication what happened in the work site, we have to take care of all the tools and tackles also. Emergency preparedness and response, we have to prepare the emergency preparedness, the three stages. One is the initial stages, another is construction stages, third one is the initiation of the buildings, and fourth one is and the construction of the after construction, the usage of the building. Like this, some phase wise we have to emergency preparedness and response to be taken care of. Because as by the examples of one of the in Sri City, in Horlicks factory, we have completed the almost all three phases of the emergency response and procedures. Here, first of all, in this is the green field which they have already in function. This is the what is called brown field, which is to be constructed. So once we have to emergency preparedness is having the green field or not, we have to check and we have to modify the existing emergency preparedness and response with respect to the green field, and it should be modified with the brownfield method. That means the brownfield means which is going to be erection of the or the construction of the buildings. We have to combine these two and one emergency preparedness. Now the emergency preparedness will be respect to the green field and the brownfield also. The brownfield people working in the brownfield, they are coming to the green field also. Via green field they will go and they will reach to the point also. That's why we will combine the green field and the brown field also. Once the brown field is completed, we have to second phase, we have to combined green field and brown field combined emergency preparedness will be prepared by taking care of the employees movement from the green field to brown field to green field also. Because the addition of the buildings also there in the brown field. That's why the second phase we have to prepare and see and implement it. And third phase, once the brown field taken into the manufacturing stage, we have to combinedly greenfield manufacturing and the brownfield buildings manufacturing and plants manufacturing combinedly. A final emergency preparedness and response procedure will be prepared. We have handed over like this for the Horlicks factory, what we have done in Sri City. That means in the construction, we have to be very careful in preparation of the emergency preparedness and response, because the greenfield employees also will be taken care of and the brownfield also will be taken care of. The very crucial stage of the preparation of the emergency preparedness and response in all the stages. Stages may be decided by depending upon the organization culture, top management decisions and all. Because of the Horlicks factory, they are decided taken three stages. That's why we prepared like this. And also, apart from this, electrical safety, it's very, very important. They be aware of the risk associated with the electricity. What are the electrical equipment which we are using in the construction phase? You have to be very careful, like welding machines and other what is called cutting machines, and they have to see that it properly earthed or not. Of course, we have discussed many times in the earthing factors like this. The electrical safety is very, very important. The housekeeping means simply is not a cleaning, is not a simply the what we call brooming aesthetics cleaning. No, keep the work environment clean and organized means none of the outward equipment or none of the undeserved equipment, none of the what is called the outstandard equipment or the tools and tackle should not be kept in place or kept in workplace. You have to see that in the morning itself while starting the work, the job safety talk will be there, and see that the housekeeping should be perfect even at the time of starting the work and before closing the day work also. We have to be very important. Normally in the construction stages only, for safe side they will take only A and B shifts only, but some other constructions, the night shifts also they have taken, but the heavy works will not be continued in the night shifts. Only small works will be completed, can be carried out, depending upon the organization interest. That means housekeeping. These are these are very very important factors, principles of construction safety. Keep in mind. Of course, this is not limited to these principles. Other than these principles, with your experience, if you come across any other things, you may add to your experience and add your what is called knowledge to this also. But this is not the limited principles for the construction safety. Coming to this fall protection, everybody knows that double step will be there. One is attaching, another what is called things to be taken care of. This is the fall protection. The fall arrestor also important. Nets will be prepared, and this is the fall arresting system, fall protection system will be taken care of. Very important. The slide here is, this is almost all 5.6 meters or 18.5 meters, divided into various factors like 6 feet length of lanyard, and 3.5 is the discuss with the this distance between the before fall and this one, like 6 feet. After the fall the person will be stead. Like this some calculation will be there with the 18.5 feet, or we can say 5.6 meters, with respect to the calculating the total fall distance. Suppose if you see that this is 18.5, that is 5.6 meters otherwise. Or another way you can say, of course, work at height means 2.5 meters above only. Everybody, people have known this. But this is the one of the calculation methods. In the 18.5 feet, 5.6 meters from the anchorage, divide into the 3, 6, 9 plus 3.5, 12.5 plus 6, total 18.5 feet, and also converted into 5.6 meters also. If anchorage distance is 14.5 meter instead of 18.5, this is the one of the calculations where we have to taken care of 2 feet for the lanyard, 3.5. Here the 3.5 is similar and 6 feet is similar, and 3 feet. The only change is 2 feet and 6 feet, depending upon the 18.5 and 14.5. This is only difference we have to taken care of. This is very very important calculations. In the Google it will be available for you. It is not a new thing for you people, because having a much experience than me also you people are. But examination point of view, this is well uh, known factor to this fall arrestor as well as the fall protection with respect to the safety in construction. Other safety considerations here is with respect to the safety in construction. Provide adequate training. Follow OSHA guidelines, that means Occupational Safety Health Administration guidelines. Establish safe practices for heavy machinery, because where the heavy machinery are using, like trucks, like a heavy what is called forklifts or heavy cranes and all, we have to see that safe practices means either by taking SOPs prepared by the manufacturer manuals or prepared by the individual organizations, and see that it should be followed by the all the workforce, those who are using the heavy machinery within the construction place. Provide a first aid also, because once the emergency preparedness response procedure is prepared for this field, for the construction field, there's no doubt in that emergency response organization chart is also there. Apart from the organization chart, emergency response team is there for the organization chart. Apart from the organization chart, where in that we have to see that provide a first aid who are going to be qualified, and also ERT members, emergency response team members, which are having identified in the construction, either by the strips in the shoulders we have a strip, or in the helmets we have an identification. Therefore, the identification will help the workforce. This is the first aid. This person is the first aid person. We can use the easy help. This is the ERT members. When an emergency is there, we have to take care of this help. Like this, some identification to be given to the all the workforce who are having first aid, excuse me, first aid qualification, as well as the emergency response team members also. Therefore, easily identified by the workforce may use their help when they need. Maintain safety equipment. Why is telling all these things? Maintain safety equipment means because the equipment we are using the always mobile equipment. For example, cranes, forklifts, all trucks movement is there, all the welding machines, cutting machines. There are plenty of artificial portable machines also will be there in the workforce, in the work construction place. That's why we have to see that every minor equipment have to see that it should be having safe measures. Where the abundant equipment is there, it should be sent to disposal, not to use the defective one, not to use the damaged one, not to any tampering. That means no shortcut methods for using the what is called the purpose of the work, because some people are using the chisel in place of hammer, hammer in place of chisel also. No, not to be tampering also will be taken care of. Follow up on the use of safety equipment. Use of safety equipment is very important. Maintain safety equipment is different, because the follow up on the use of safety equipment means there is no shortcut use of tool, shortcut method of any equipment which are in the construction place. Maintain means it should be healthy and wealthy, and it should be overall and maintain a good workmanship like a safety equipment. Assign employees based on the experiences. Very important point. Because those who are having the experience in the excavation, that excavation only that employees is employed, that be placed. That place, for example, a maestri is there. He will not be having any experience in excavation procedures, like for example, foundation, digging vessels and digging wells and all. He is not having to be experienced to be person. That means we have to employees should be assigned which they have an experience. On that basis only, we have to see that that person is to be employed in particular work. Therefore, driver means driver, conductor means conductor, cleaner means cleaner. That means cleaner should not be a driver, driver should not be a cleaner. Like this, we have to see that experienced persons will be assigned based on their work experience and workmanship also. Include safety equipments in the construction contract. It's very important. In the contractor, if you have an agreement, Some organizations are giving two types. One is complete overall construction agreement given to the contractor, no equipment of the, no tools, no safety, everything is contract based only. That means total 100% is in the scope of the contract only. If that is the nature, the organization is very careful to see that how best they can prepare the work contract, because the work contract is a huge steps to be mentioned in the work contract, because the industry will not take care of anything, only the contract can be taken care of. In this structure, the organization is more responsible towards the contract and what the contractor is following in the construction phase. And some organizations are having 50%. That means only the equipment is supplied by the organizations, only manpower is supplied by the contractor. In that connection also, the management is very crucial steps to be taken care of by supplying their equipments. In two areas, that means 100% contract or 50%, 50%, there are very crucial stages of the two stages also, depending upon the contract terms and conditions. That's why all the safety members, not only safety member, safety supervisors, site supervisors, site managers, site what is called the coordinators, ERT members, as well as the first aiders should know about the what is the contractor terms and conditions, what is the management side, the facilities. That should be known by the every workforce who are involved in the construction phase. No question of the any hiding the things apart from the uh, financial terms, but the technical terms, we have to see that it should be shared to all the workforce in the contract terms and condition with respect to technical and the equipment supply and the safe usage of the procedures also. Very crucial methods here. And they comply with regional safety and health regulations, because in the AP, if you use the what is called the any construction of industry is there, you have to stay that AP state. And also, if you do the Visakhapatnam, if you do the Kakinada, if you do the Rajahmundry or East Godavari district, depending upon the regional safety guidelines and the state safety guidelines and the central safety guidelines and the health regulations will be followed as per the site regulations which the work construction place will be taken care of. So very, very important. That's why before starting any project construction industry, you have to see that all workforce, bottom to top or top to bottom, should be aware of the scope of terms and conditions apart from the financial terms. Safety during construction is also influenced by decisions made during the planning and designs also, because during the planning and design also will come across in the coming slides. It's very important to taken care of the during the construction, also influenced decisions also will be influenced, because some of the decisions cannot be taken for the floor members and all. Immediately top management is enter into the picture and see that that should not be decision should be vague. It should be concrete decisions should be taken during the planning and design stage also. For example, some of the safety construction postures I am giving for your awareness. Of course, you are all aware of all these things. Safety in construction industry and the personal protective equipment like this at protection, eye protection, and the hand protection, chest pants, that means boiler suits, as well as the hearing protection, eye visibility or vest clothing, and the harness full fall protection, and the steel toed boots also, because these are the posters to be displayed at the construction site itself. Therefore, the people should aware of the consequences and hazards and risks also by the workforce. And this also grinding. These are the one of some of the what is called the safety appliances where the workforce to be used as per the nature of the work. This is one of the huge construction site assembling is there. They have to see that how they are working on the gutters, working on the channels and beams. We have to be very careful in working also construction industry. And apart from this, the full harness should be taken care of while climbing or while work at heights. This is the safety in construction. The another method now, very important method. Now the construction industry is using technology and more to build a safer future. Here is they're using the drones also, because some of the industries, by taking care of the help of the drones, immediately they identify the safety, identify the conditions, identify the unsafe acts, identify the unsafe conditions also with immediate effect by using these drones, where the people will not approach there in the crane safety and all. By drones, it will be helpful. That's why construction industry is using technology and more to build a safer future is there. Very important slide is because the drones are using some of the industries. Of course, the industries has to develop to use this technology also. These are the safety site safety rules which we have to display in the construction safety, may known by the all the workforce, but awareness to be improved, education to be done, and training to be done always by counseling, always wear PPE, be tidy, and follow signs, and do not enter. That means any authorized persons to be entered where they use the uh, right equipment. Uh, if that means if in doubt, ask. That means any doubt is there, you have to ask. This is the symbol. Get your induction. That means those who are having the new employees, a new workforce, that should be induction training to be done. Act safe and report where the you're having any incidents or accidents or unsafe conditions or unsafe act. Immediately report to the next authority. Don't tamper. That means don't use shortcuts. Don't use the that means the unused or what is called the tampered equipments also. You have to see that these are these 10 minimum simple construction steps. Second one is the site planning and layout. When the construction first page is over, where we are already divided into 6 phases to understand better way. This is over now. The site planning and layout is the second part. We have to site planning and layout also. During the site planning, layout is to be taken decisions where at the time some of the decisions may not be taken, but in between also to be taken care of with respect to the safety. That's why every uh, site planning and layout should be very careful. When planning and laying out a construction site to govern safety, key factors include identifying the potential hazards early on, strategically, that means before, strategically placing temporary structures like access points, storage areas, and ingress routes where the very shortcut routes or the what will very narrow routes are there. We have to mention there the ingress routes where the ingress routes are there with the sign symbols and all. Considering the worker movement patterns while site planning and layout, implementing clear traffic flow management, ensuring compliance with relevant safety regulations and standards, all while prioritizing accessibility to emergency equipment and designated safe zones throughout the site layout. Because during the site planning and the layout, these are the very, very important where the building is to be placed. Identify the potential hazards early on, where the during the site planning only, layout only, these are the things to be taken care of very drastically with expertise. That's why during the site planning and layout, brainstorming by the all the experienced workforce, including the staff members, including the management staff, including the top management, should involve in the site planning and layout also, because the a small man can also having the big ideas also. Site planning, once the site planning and layout decided, it's very difficult to changes once the site planning and layout is completed, because as per that construction is also started. That's why initial stage site planning and layout is very, very important. That's why here the point is discussed in the meanwhile in the previously. Safety during construction is also influenced by decisions made during the planning and design also. That is why we have to be taken care in the site planning and the plant layout also. Site layout, the layout of the construction site should be planned to minimize hazards. This includes designated areas for different types of works, clear pathways for movement, and the separation of hazardous zones. Because in the site layout, before approval of site layout, we have to see that number of things taken into consideration and brainstorming to be taken, and we have to do the SWOT analysis also, strength, weakness, and the opportunities and threat analysis also to be done. And there is any changes is there in the site planning layout before itself, before approval, it should be done before itself. In that connection also, the contractor is fixed at that time. The contractor crew or the contractor top management is also involved in the site planning and layout also. There is no ambiguity or there is no this doubt anything. We have to ask them to follow, ask them to participate in the site planning and layout designing, as well as the before the approval of the top management or approval of the organization. All are involved. Taking the signature of the all the workforce, for example, workforce means top management as well as the contract top management also, who is awarded the contractors. That is also should be signed, and they have to issue the copy to taken care of, and give some time to them to taken care of any changes they recommend before the approval of the site planning and layout also. We have to give time to the workforce as well as the contractor top management also, who are involved in the construction phase. And apart from this, key aspects of safety focused site planning and layout. During the site planning and layout procedure, what are the key aspects you have to see apart from these factors? Very, very key aspects is hazard identification, risk assessment to be done.